Welcome to the Hawks Nest live stream show for members and patrons only. As promised, we're going to get a few of these shows going and hopefully at least one every week here as we go through. And I want to provide that today. I thought this would be a great time for it. We've got the opening game of the football season, a fun game at that, between the Chiefs and the Lions. And it actually does have some indirect effect on our Seahawks because we're going to be playing the Lions in week 2. So this does also give us an early opportunity to get a feel for this opponent that we're going to have to play. And it's certainly going to be a tough matchup as it was before, as we saw last year where we didn't have to punt at one time that game, scoregami style. So let's see how it goes this upcoming year with them. And I think that they've got a good chance in this game to maybe do some damage here against this Chiefs team, as of course we now know that Travis Kelce indeed is not going to be playing here for the Chiefs. So very, very interesting on that side of it. You know, I'm going to be starting my Sky Moore now in this game in my fantasy league because, yeah, I think he's getting fed tonight. We shall see how it goes. But hope everyone's having a great night. I want to thank everybody, patron or member alike, for all of your guys' support here to the channel. I really want to work to try to do more and more here to, continue to build on the benefits for your guys' support as you do. So I hope you guys understand that and know that. I'd love to hear from the chat today. We've got a conundrum in my and see, Megan, this is something you don't get to take advantage. I get to take advantage. I can just poll my chat. I've got to make a decision on whether to go with Sky Moore or Brandon Ayuk in the next 9 minutes, and I'm going Sky Moore actually. Strangely. George Samuel, my man out there in Egypt. How you doing? I hope you're doing really good, actually. And thank you. You got the first like on this one, my man. Megan Gok Roger. Hello. Ooh, bad news on K9. He's out with a groin injury. I've been going through and sifting through the news all day, and I saw nothing on... You guys must be way on it because I saw nothing like that come up today. Let me see here. Hold on. So he's just listed. Did you guys see something where he's actually going to be out of the game? Okay, he's not out yet. Because, they technically on that same report, they've got Devin Witherspoon listed there with a hamstring, and we know that he's practicing. Now, granted, he's not going to be playing this upcoming week. But, interesting. And he was only limited in practice, so he at least practice from that standpoint to some degree. It gets me nervous, though, because I have Walker in my fantasy league as well, so. Lord have mercy. What's up, Snail? Good to see you, man. Megan says, I have Ayuk, but we'll go more. Yeah, that's the way I'm going to go, too. I think that Steelers defense in the secondary is going to give the 49ers some fits. I don't know if Brock Purdy just throws right through on the road in 10 a.m. game. I don't know if I buy that he's going to just go right through that defense. Megan says, still not totally convinced the playing JSN for this game is the right way to go. I certainly wouldn't be against being cautious with him, Megan. I don't see how, when it comes down to these kind of moments with a player like this, and players on the different type of spectrum of how good they are, the answer for me is always, is this guy going to be the difference or not for us winning this game? And sometimes it's hard to read that in advance, but I don't go into this game against the Rams. I was prepping a little bit already tonight for the show with Brendan. And you just go down the line looking for something that they're doing that's dangerous, that could cause our Hawks problems, and there's nothing there. Everything is bad offensively, bad defensively. Cooper Kupp is now out. We speak in simple terms about it being just Stafford and Donald, but it is just Stafford and Donald. That all we're running up against here, in my opinion. And those guys can be enough. I mean, those guys have been known in the past in their own ways to carry things. But I do not think necessarily JSN is the end all be all on that. He says it's so easy to redo a wrist injury. Ask me how I know, so it's not worth it for me. Yeah, as a man is trying to get his back to right, I can attest to that. Hopefully Walker plays though. I hope that groin isn't re-injured. I mean, they were just doing walkthrough practices at this point. Re-injure. Oh, nothing's coming up. Re-injure. Not really any other news today from our Hawks coming out. Everything was pretty quiet. Yeah, my back is still out. It does not feel any better. Sleeping last night was a bear. Every little movement an inch had me snapping away. Bobo is my religion. How you doing, man? It's good to see you in the chat. William says, I have money on the Lions tonight. Laughing out loud. I think that's pretty good money. I'm always nervous on the Super Bowl winners at home first game. I think if we were to go through like the last 10 years, those guys like win nine out of the last 10 years or something like that. You got the banner dropping in the stadium, everybody feeling warm and fuzzy. You know, it's everybody hyped to the moon. But the Chiefs are a very interesting case study in what's going on with them right now. No Jones there, no Kelsey. A defense that was already down a little bit this offseason, in my opinion. And, you know, they're hoping certain younger guys step forward to step into the shoes of the guys of the prior. Guys like Karlaftis or McDuffie, the cornerback that they've got out there that they drafted a couple of years ago. But we'll see if that actually turns out to be the case for them or not. Megan says, I heard about K9 yesterday as I have him in fantasy, but not until I hear from either Pete. I'm not yanking him off my team just yet. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. And this is another one that is, would you work to just be cautious? Because you can trust Zach Charbonnet to just be your hammer there. Maybe they do. It's also concerning is it's the groin again, where you had the groin through training camp, and I guess you just can't get that thing right. You know, I guess it just takes like months and months to just get the groin back to a workable place or something, like the hammy. Very touchy. Yeah, you might be looking good with Jacques Charbonnet this week. William Leonard slang term? Oh. A couple minutes away from the start of the game. From this start. Let's go. Yeah, I get a new laptop. This thing is toasting out on me. It's coughing and sputtering. But yeah, I'm not. I still cannot work up much fear against this Rams team this week, especially it's a game at home, opening week of the season. Come on. Yeah, I'm going with Sky. I'm going with Sky, Megan. I'm just going to trust the fact Ayuk's going to be held to a mid status this week. Young Mr. Joey Porter Jr., that Steeler lineage pumping through his veins, will lock down Brandon Ayuk and pave the way for me. Oh, look at the prior comment. It's like, I think it got accidentally made. It might have got accidentally removed. Gosh dang it. But post again, William, if you could. What did you say? George, football's back, man. It feels good. I'm hyped for tonight, man. It took a long time. This was a long training camp. Long May, long June. Finally here. It does feel good. Interesting to see what happens in this game, too. It's a fun matchup. Fun opening matchup. William says, fun fact, Bob means silly, fool, dumbass in Brazilian Portuguese. Bobo means silly, fool, dumbass in Brazilian Portuguese. That's awesome. Is that his heritage? Does he have like Portuguese heritage? Maybe somewhere way upriver, way up the tree of life. He says, "Woot woot, got St. Brown and Waddle off the questionable list. Hell yeah." I do think Brown's going to get worked a lot here in this game. I was trying to think about it on putting down for my underdog fantasy. You could pick for on St. Brown, but they had him up at like you had to go over or under 7.5 catches, which kind of feels right about where he's going to be for this game. Is somewhere over or under on the catch mark with that. Ooh. Hello, sideline reporter. Nick Craig says football is back in a trap game for the Chiefs. I don't know if it was a trap game. It's just a tough pull for them. You know, your Chiefs, you're like, look, we're the Super Bowl champs. You know, why don't you throw us, why don't you toss us like the Colts week 1? You know, maybe Houston. How about we go that route with it? And no, we're going to throw the Lions at you, a team that might end up, winning the division out there in the NFC North. I'd say it's the favorites to win the NFC North this upcoming season. We're going to throw that at you. Thanks, NFL. Yeah. Anything to help you, Kansas City? Anything to help our golden boy Mahomes? I did show a shot of Chris Jones in the stadium, so he is there for whatever that might be worth. Reportedly, with the Chris Jones situation, they've offered him a 2-year extension, fully guaranteed. But it doesn't sound like he's taken it quite yet. Move this a little closer. Oh, in the screen. There we go. Oh. Backs suck. They just suck. William says Chris Jones has his handler sitting next to him. Wave at the fans. Wave at the fans. Peace sign. Peace sign. Peace sign. Give them the thumbs up. Mouth a lot of thank yous. Thank you. They're cutting you. Say thank you. You're appreciative. You're appreciative. Thank you. They're cutting it. The shot's on you right now, Chris. I can confirm it's on you right now. All right, we got the beginning of the NFL football season set to underway. How about that? And this kick will go through the back of the end zone where Mr. Goff will step out onto the football field. Goff's been a pretty good fit here for the Lions. I really want to see how DeAndre Swift looks in this offense, how they're going to use him. Montgomery. David Montgomery also, they're going to work between those two backs. And I'm not going to do as much play-by-play today because we're going to be doing a late stream tonight with Brendan. So it's just going to kind of be talking a little bit about what's going on in the game. Hope you all don't mind. I'm going to give up the middle here to Mr. Montgomery for a good gain of 8. Lions got a good line. They do. Penny Sewell, Taylor Decker, good bookend tackles, excellent center, and pretty good at the guard. Not really any guys that are real weak links as it sets out. I'm guessing they're going to try to test. Play action pass. Oh, he's going to have to ground that one quick. Chiefs weren't buying that. That might have been Karlaftis there. Kind of the lack of mobility with Goff when you have him roll out, because other quarterbacks that are a little bit quicker, they're going to get to the edge a little bit faster. Karlaftis is not exactly a real fleet of foot kind of cat, and he was able to just get back in there. Really not, I mean, he was even kind of stunted for a second there, like he was halted for a little bit of a moment post-snap. Third down, Goff double clutching and overthrows the wide receiver for a quick 3 and out. Yikes. Come on, Jared, don't look like that. He's brought the 5-man blitz. That's a great job by the Chiefs. They went to a 5-man blitz, and they knew that they were going to force the Lions then to have their blitzer be on the running back rather than them, moving the linemen equally across hat for hat. Probably some film study done there by the Chiefs to figure that one out. Out comes Patrick Mahomes. This is all about those Italian mafia looking guys sitting next to Chris Jones. You don't talk to nobody. You don't say nothing to nobody. All right, we're here to help you. You help us. Okay? Chiefs right in shotgun here from the snap and jump. And go to Clyde Edwards-Helaire for gain of a couple. Hutchinson over there. Anazole. The first time Seattle sends out a 4 wide receiver set, I'm praying for the Rams, says Nick. It'll be a fun look, man. And their first corner ain't all that good. You get down to the 4th corner of the Ram, it's kind of a steaming pile at that point. I bet Bobo would feast all day on that. All right, 2nd down and 5. Another handoff here by the Chiefs. And that will not go anywhere. So 3rd down and short. William Leonard says it doesn't really matter that the Chiefs lost their old OC, right? No. I mean, Andy Reid's had a variety of assistants through the years that he's lost, that are offensive coordinators specifically, that have gone on to get their jobs. And, let's be real, he just doesn't tend to miss a beat. 3rd down and 2 now. Wow, great throw there by Mahomes. He was looking Sky Moore, and then he came back down to McKinnon. Really put that ball placement in a nice spot there. That's not an easy throw, and he made that look kind of easy. Linebacker actually has pretty good coverage here. No, he lost him a little bit, I guess. He lost him a little bit. He caught back up good, but he even did the desperate hold thing. Okay, out here to 83. Will be taken down to the ground for a 5-6 yard gain by Mahomes. Come on, throw it to Sky Moore. Throw it to him. Moore will go in motion here. Play action pass. Mahomes setting up to throw. He's going to scramble out. Not seeing anybody open here. 3rd down and 5. That's Aiden Hutchinson. Jeez. Oh my goodness. They double doinked Hutchinson with the chip. He got 2 separate chips plus the tackle on that play. That's mean. That's just mean. 3rd down and 5. Mahomes drops back to throw. He's looking, and he's going to try to scramble. He's not going to get anywhere, and Komsky is in there for the tackle, so this will be a 4th down play. I think Mahomes looked a couple times to Sky Moore's direction. He's not seeing separation, I guess. Lions gave him the wide 9 on that, and wide 9'd him. But I think, William, it doesn't really matter when it comes to that. I mean, it's certainly Andy's. The one thing I will say is that, he's probably going to have a good pipeline to bring in the new OCs, the young up-and-comers and smart guys that, will be the next crop, so to speak. He's got so many contacts through the league, he's probably put onto that guy. But it's his offense. It would be like the equivalent, of course, on like Carroll's defense. Coordinators can help a little bit or not with it. They can help. They can be a bit, but it's at the end of the day, I'm more go to it being this guy's really kind of running it at the end of the day and what he wants to see fit done. William says, funny how this is Thursday night football, but it's not Thursday night football. Yeah. It's a little strange. It is strange. Megan says, throw it anyone not named Sky Moore. Hell no. Megan, B, Smith, Schuster, or Drake London? Yes or no? I just read a report this week that Juju Smith-Schuster's got a knee that's ready to explode, that's fit to explode. So I've got no trust in what he's got going on right now with that knee situation. Reportedly the Patriots were astonished by how bad the knee looks. It's a ticking time bomb. So Drake London. And that'll be my answer all year on that one. So I ain't trusting a ticking time bomb knee. We saw that with Odell Beckham. He had that ticking time bomb thing going on when he signed with the Rams. And the Rams made him sign a waiver. Like, you acknowledge you are taking this risk because your knee is toasty. William, what time is it over there? 5:30? Oh, you're asking Megan. Nice. I'm on the East Coast, Patriots country, actually. Oof. Be tough country to be in. I don't think I like that. Read that too, which is why I asked, thinking of leaving Drake where he is. USC. Hey, I'd probably leave him then. At that point, I would be apt to do so. Who am I going up against here? Who's my guy got rocking? He's got Eckler and Gabe Davis, Higgins, Schultz. I should win this matchup this week. It should happen. Man, Reba McIntyre's turning into Kathy Griffin. 1st and 10. Too much plastic surgery. Goff under center. High formation look. Give us into Montgomery. Can I get a Jahmyr Gibbs, please? Montgomery's doing nothing for me. Thank you. Mix and match. Never really gotten the big thing with Montgomery. He's always just seemed like a guy to me. We got a Jahmyr Gibbs sighting here. All right, 2nd and 7. Chiefs bring a lot of action down near the line of scrimmage here early on. Wow. They're trying to get Goff flustered because that's what you do with Goff. If you get him a little bit freaked out, with too many hands, too many bodies too close, he starts getting a little bit uncomfortable real fast. Oof, boy, that ball looked ugly coming out of his hands. That looked like a dead duck coming out of his hands. That thing was wobbling from the first 2 yards it left. You could tell it was going to wobble even if it was a knockdown. All right, 3rd and 7. Lions offense looking overwhelmed by this Chiefs defense here at the moment. And Goff's doing his best Russell Wilson impression. And I think he found Amon there. No, who's 0? That'll be 4th down. Okay, so if on the Lions offense, you need to now, with the first 2 possessions, we got 3 guys down by the line of scrimmage. They all came. It turned into a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 5-man drop right now. So if you're the Lions, you've got to put in an extra player in there for helping with pass protection. Your 5-man front struggling against when they're bringing their 5-man front. And the Lions are going to go for this and get the fake. This is Campbell for you. Ballsy as hell. I love it though. You want to generate some momentum early on, but in your own territory, on your own side of the field. Well, that's, I guess, when you're going to catch the opposition unaware. I mean, they just read the lips of Andy Reid, and he was like, wow. Yeah, they gave him the opening because they didn't have a guy heads up over the top or anywhere near to being heads up over the top with the long snapper. And so that kind of opened a natural rushing lane there for them to come through with the fake. Well, you should have been the special teams guy for Kansas City. He's mad, but it's like you shouldn't have had the guy off the A-gap there then. All right, here's a run into Gibbs. I don't know what Gibbs' number is. I'm having to figure it out here. Yeah, that was Gibbs with his first carry. Yay. For a yard. It's the same, never got the hype either. Yeah, there was guys for years I remember being talked about like, oh, this guy ready to explode in Chicago. He's going to be ready to be one of the best backs in the NFL. I was like, no, he's not. He's okay. But he's just okay. Goff back to pass here. Inside. Oh, there we go. Is that Amon? Amon St. Brown with his first catch of the game. We're going to see JSN doing a lot of that type of stuff. Little slant route inside. Really used the defender's leverage against them. The defender did a bad job there of showing that he was going to give up the inside and allow him to the inside there. And Brown kind of read it really quick in the route running he ran too. Play action pass. Back underneath here. Now the Lions are kind of rolling. First down catch. Josh Reynolds. The old Ram. Strange coverage call there by the Chiefs. A lot of people up near the line of scrimmage again here. And Montgomery will take it for like 4 or 5. Good balanced offense here for the Lions out the gate. Come on. Ran in the cut. How you doing, man? William Brando, how is next year's draft looking for available defensive linemen? Just juicy, tasty. It's got depth on the front of it right now, which has been missing, I would say, for the last 2 years. Ooh, here we go. Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's go. Jahmyr Gibbs, the best run of the night. Looking real good. Guy has some shades of him of Chris Johnson to me on tape coming out of Alabama. And people were shocked he was taken in the first round, but this kid, he's got that electric quickness to him. Well blocked up by the Lions, but geez, yeah, he just broke a tackle there in the open field. I mean, that's really him making that happen. They did a good job of pulling those guys in space. They hit their blocks, but he beat the unblocked defender. And number 20 for the Chiefs is having himself a little bit of a difficult drive right now. It's a bit of an uphill battle for him at the moment here. Amon Brown again, Megan. Look at that. Another quick catch. But William, you've got Zerjon Newton, Illinois defensive lineman. Kind of got some shades of Sam Adams to him. You got a guy named Deontay Corleone with Cincinnati, who's just this weird, freakish beast. Just, I mean, absurdly strong, and he can move, and he's got the quintessential size you'd look for in the position. He just needs to put it together for another year here in Cincinnati. Run up the middle here by the Lions. They're doing a good job of just grinding on this drive. Another 5-6 yard run there by the tailback. You got Michael Hall with Ohio State, who's kind of your twitchier, 3-tech type, who, real bouncy and springy, and just a handful inside. There's this kid with the Miami who's really nice. I'm just starting to kind of get my film study started on him a little bit. He's really impressive too. But I would estimate, as it stands right now on the surface of things, there would appear to be about, Montgomery's injured here. He's coming off limping. Oh, no, he's not. He's just got his shoe out. Man, he just came off quick. 2nd and 6 here for the Lions. First quarter winding down here fast, 3:51. Offensive line creating some holes on this drive. Gibbs going to be the Gibbs. Oh! Made a great cut, and he looked like he was going to have a pathway getting there, and he just slipped and fell down. That's tough. Third down and 10. He looked like he had ready to break outside. All right, so 3rd and 6, Goff and shotgun. He's looking. Oh, I'm on St. Brown, Megan. 3 catches and now a touchdown. I think you're winning week 1 here. Amon might do it all on his own. He starts humping the air, and the camera quickly cuts away. Random cut says, maybe I should have put Gibbs in my flex. I don't know if I'd do that. I'm voting for Gibbs because he's not in my fantasy, but I've got him for more than 570, 560, 560 rushing yards or something like that this year in my little underdog fantasy thing I did. So I'm just hoping he can get it done in that. Let's see, what did I have for that? Can't see it for some reason. So I'm on St. Brown. Getting it done. It's going to be a tough matchup next week. Browns are not looking like too bad at the moment. Megan says, I'm also so glad I took Brown. Wasn't sure if I should pull that trigger on him. I'm damn near trade him. Dodged that bullet on that. Thank Lord. Yeah, I bet somebody was trying to grab him. He's going to have a good year this year for them. Megan says, okay, B, this may be the dumbest thing you hear all day. Sorry, but can you explain the red zone thing to me? It just, it means that you're into the opponent's side of the field, and then you're inside the 20 on the opponent's side of the field. So you're in sort of what would be considered the danger zone for defenses as far as the score potential goes, But that's what it means. Opposition side of the field inside the 20-yard line. William Hawksnetzer, do you think we'll see less 13 personnel this season for the Hawks? I do, because I think 11 personnel is what you're going to see in its stead. The 2 and 3 tight end sets go away for more 3 wide receiver looks. And the teams indicated to you that they wanted to kind of do this in general terms, being that they had 2 years ago taken Dwayne Eskridge in order to be able to go to these looks more often. And when that didn't work, now they transitioned to JSN because they want to have a guy out there that's competent and that can do that and that they can run those sets. I say this because I feel like Waldron is to some degree going to always shift back to the designs of where he came from. And at the head of what McVay did in this scheme, on top of a couple other factors, but one of the main things at the head of this was a high amount of 3 wide receiver sets, and that you leaned into those groupings and those looks quite a bit as you could. And we'll see if it happens this year. But it's going to have to come at the cost of something if you're going to run those. If you're going to run 3 wide receiver, what grouping are we going to see less of at that point? To me, the natural one on that is the 3 tight end looks. You'll get a smattering of them, but it certainly won't be more as probably commonplace as we saw last year, where we were like league leading in 3 tight end looks and up there in the 2 tight end looks. Don't think it'll be just quite that this year. There'll be more of a balance. George says, with the Kelsey situation and the restructure of Adams, you think it's now more likely we can put Fant and draft picks to get Jones? I get the impression with the Chiefs, if I'm just reading and I have nothing to base this on, George, as far as to say I know this is what I've got as inside info or what I'm hearing as far as rumors, but listening just the way that Jones has talked about the situation, seeing that Jones is in the building today for the game, I would be inclined to believe that they're going to probably find a common ground situation thing here with Jones, George, if I was to be honest with you on that. Now, I do believe there's another trade coming, though. I do think Seahawks are going to do something else. Not this Jones thing. Maybe it's a Buckner thing. If not the Buckner thing, they'll do something. We may have to wait before the trade deadline as well within this, because I think Schneider's going to maintain a level of patience here. But that would be how I see it. 2nd and 8 here for the Chiefs. Oh, no, this guy more in the game now. Yikes. Matt Nagy now the offensive coordinator here for the former Bears coach. That Matt Nagy. Holy hell, man, my back is killing me. Oof. Gotta lean back for a second here. I'm not trying to kick my feet out. Just back is barking just a little bit today. There's a catch. Nice throw by Mahomes. Little flood zone concept there. Let's get a nice high scoring game, 38-31. Sky Moore gets the carry here on an end around. He'll give himself about 5 yards. He wears that 24. He looks like a cornerback out there. George says Joe Burrow has reached an agreement with the Bengals on a 5-year, $275 million deal that includes $219 million guaranteed and makes him the highest paid player in NFL history. Well, they had to do it. Bengals have a given nature, which is to save every last ducat and dollar they can. 2nd down and 6. Isaiah Pacheco driven out wide there. Nice job by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson on the tackle. Third down and 6. Mahomes going to roll out. Oh, man. Hutchinson did a little spin there that got him out of the... Wow, Mahomes is so sneaky mobile. Got himself a first down there where it didn't look like there was going to be a way to get there. Hutchinson spun a guy to the ground just on the spin move he implemented there. That was pretty gnarly. That's George, though. That makes a lot of sense for them to make that move and make that signing. You had to do it with this guy. He is, to me, one of the 2 best quarterbacks in the sport right now. Doesn't look like he's slowing down. And, he also has, coming off winning that national title, being a part of one of the more impressive runs we've seen in college football in recent years. Burrow has, I think, earned the right to be paid as he is here, and good for the Bengals to leave their ways. Good for the Bengals to show the fans out there that we're not going to bail on this guy because it's too expensive, that there's some sort of commitment to winning here. And I will give them credit. In recent years, they have been paying a little bit more and opening up the pocketbook a little bit more often. And they re-signed linebackers and some of the edge guys there. So, give them props for that. It's a good deal. Smart deal. You're going to have to do it. And 5 years, $275 is a lot. But price is only going up for these top-end quarterbacks. And he's the one guy I would say that truly deserves getting that price. Not one guy, one of the few guys I'd say, well, that's truly your difference maker guy who should be given that kind of deal. Max says, let Amon score 5 touchdowns or more, please. Thank you. George says, what happened to your back? George, I was out playing basketball in the court yesterday and halfway through just shooting and jumping around a bit, not going too hard. And the lower back flared up on me all of a sudden. And I think I've got a couple of pinched nerves in there right now or something, because they're both screaming at me pretty much 24/7 here for the last day and a half. But getting old sucks, George. That's all I'll say about that. Getting old is no fun. Everything just is stiff and tight now. It's even worse if you got to sleep weird because you can't sleep. I can't sleep. You just got to sleep like, there was like one little way I could sleep to where I could like not be in pain. It was weird. It was weird. Oh, man. Might have to go to the Cairo. Mace is good. God, this is the first game of the year, and my fantasy team has me chewing my nails. Hey, you're rolling along, Megan. You should feel pretty good. I mean, he's already produced like a lot of other people's 2 and 3 wide receiver are going to produce this upcoming week. So I guarantee you, with it being through one quarter already, Amon's where he is at, it's good chance here that he's cracking 100 yards today and 7 or 8 catches. First and 10 for the Chiefs on the Detroit Lions side of the football field here. Pass is going to be out wide to Pacheco. I like saying that name. Pacheco. Thanks, George. According to my self-diagnosis, it's supposed to only be a couple-day thing, and then you start to feel a little bit better. But I don't feel better today. Hutchinson's playing a hell of a game here early on. He's all over the place for the Lions. Oh, they got 5 yards on that one. Zang. Marquez Valdez Scantling. First down. Lions corners, definitely something to track. They showed a great shot there of the line corner drop in cover 3 and just how you can attack that route with these route concepts. Rashee Rice drops his first ball in a contested catch situation. That was the exact thing that bothered me the most about that guy, is that you have any kind of contact with him coming out of college and the ball's going to get jostled free. He's got to be wide open to make the catch. 2nd down and 10. Let me give him a cover 2 look here. Pressure at the feet of Mahomes. He's trying to dance around it, and he's going to be freed out in the open here. Finally run out of bounds at like the 9-yard line. He's beating the lines with his legs right now. Williams says, Brando, try doing a calcium magnesium supplement for the back. Calcium helps muscles contract and magnesium helps them relax. I tweaked my back once and was the only thing that helped. Thank you for the note on that. I will give that a try. Calcium, magnesium. Let me write it down. I got it in there, man. Thank you for letting me know on that. I'll try it out as a combo. Sucks too, because I really like getting my workouts in and stuff. You just got to be just kind of stopped up for a while and just wait it out. Chiefs got 2nd and goal here. Hutchinson had that razzle-dazzle sniffed out. And caused that play to go to hell. Good job by Hutchinson again with some early penetration there. Komsky got the tackle. Komsky's been impressive in the inside for the Lions here early on. But that was really Hutchinson just reading that. Chiefs tried this razzmatazz running back handoff to the quarterback, who then gives it to the fly sweep man. Yeah, you know. 3rd and goal. Mahomes looking. He's got a guy open. And what I say with Rashee Rice, as long as you get him wide open, he'll make the catch. And he makes the catch for his first touchdown reception. But that's the key with the guy. You have to make sure he's wide open, and he'll make the grab. Megan says, B, how does Howard feel about Amon Brown? There is no stranger wonder for this commentator that I have seen over my last 5 decades of calling NFL football games, and that is the rise to prominence of the diminutive slot receivers of the NFL. They are unbelievable jitterbugs in the open field, always seemingly open, always seemingly moving the chains. And at the head of this class, or at least certainly just behind one Mr. Jefferson out in Vikings country, is Amon St. Brown. He is a catch machine, a wonder from the inside, and the man who helps make this Lions offense go. Brandon Scott says, dang, 11 points already. Reminds me of a couple times Tyler got about 30. Ha ha ha. Yeah, he's running. He's rolling. Megan's got to feel pretty good about this one. I need my Sky Moore bet to start coming through, though. I'm not feeling the lack of Sky Moore targets here. Come on. Mm-mm. No, I just put a tenner on it. Come on, Sky. Come on, man. Makes us not getting too cocky uppy. This is the Lions we're talking about. Hey, this ain't your daddy's Lions. This is the new breed of Lions here. These are the Ligers. These have been put together in a lab. Is their field named Gaia Field? That's dumb. 7-7 score here, 11:50 to go. We'll go back into the end zone here. Seven. Goff back on the field from the 25-yard line. Well, almost looked like everybody came to a stop on that play after the play. 5-yard gain there. William Leonard says, let's go Mariners. They just finally won a game that was determined by with just 1 point. And against the Tampa Bay team at that, William, which it's a big win at this point. Every win right now as you're down this home stretch is looming huge. And we just got to get to those final series of the year, but get it to those final series of the year. All right? Like, let's go. Good to hear, though, man. Very good to hear. We need to get back up in the first place marker of things. Get up on top again here. They don't spell it like Gaia, though, Megan. They spell it like Geha. I don't know. Maybe it's an offshoot of Gaia. But then it's a stadium. It's not actually of Earth. So I don't know. Snail says, I might not believe in the Lions, but I do believe in the Detroit Dab Campbells. Dab Campbells. I did too, man. I think this could have easily fallen on his face, or the players could have kind of resonated with it. And it seems like they've resonated with his messaging and his style. 1st and 10 here, dropping back to pass. Goff hits his tight end, Laporta. Laporta with the catch. No, hurry up offense here from the Lions. Okay. That's a dumb play call. You got 2nd and 1, and then you run a quarterback sneak on 2nd and 1. Can't you just run that on 3rd and 1? Like, I'll do a play action deep shot. Like, let's take a shot down the field, see what we can get from it. That's such a scared kind of call to make there. Just get our first. 2nd and 1. You got a line that can run block. Don't worry about it. Chiefs being bringing the blitz here. Well, give Lions credit. They're getting a lot. Every run's a positive run. They may not get more than a couple yards at times, but they're not getting negative plays. 2nd and 7 here. And with it, they're doing a good job of controlling the clock here with these kind of drives. How you beat a guy like Mahomes that's so good offensively is you're not going to stop him. You just, the best defense is a good offense, and not just in respect to scoring points. And there's Amon Brown again, Megan, with a 16-yard catch or a first down. It's also in controlling the clock, scoring the points and keeping that offense from being out there and staying in rhythm and just, killing you. Just they have to be efficient in what they're doing on the other side then offensively too. Chiefs bringing a lot of blitzes here, and boy, they had a lot of guys in coverage. Just nobody picked up where Amon went. That's a great pass by Goff too, though. Man, he put that thing. He put it low too. I mean, he put it to where that ball's low to where he's falling to catch it on purpose by Goff's placement there, and that's just a fantastic throw. Yeah, we got our first negative run yard play here by the Lions. Chiefs are all over it on that play. And Megan, I still always call it Arrowhead. I'm always going to call it Arrowhead. Part of me thinks about going back on some of these stadiums that they call dumb names. Just go back and call it the old cool names that they used to be called. Back when it meant something. George St. Brown's having a game. He is indeed. The nickel situation for the Chiefs is looking a bit dodgy at the moment. Well, it doesn't help. The guy's got a weird stance. He's like leaned over. Oh, he's blitzing. Well, that makes sense. And then wide open here to the tight end again. Gain of 14 yards. Chiefs taking a lot of risks, you can tell, defensively to try to cover up the stuff that they have on. No Chris Jones. Not sure about their edge rushers. So it's a lot of games being played here. Corner blitzes, linebackers blitzes, 5-man blitz. Everything, every play is something kind of complicated in nature, or they're running some kind of game. And I like that stuff as much as anybody, but when you just run it 24/7, it's also at the other extreme end of the scale when you're doing that. And it's not really confusing the Lions as it stands at the moment, or at least not Goff. I give the running back for a gain of like 2. They're feeding Montgomery good here. Megan says, I can see how much you're truly enjoying how Amon's playing, B. I like how he plays. He's a fun player. I enjoy watching these guys. I'm also not facing you this week, so it's not a pain for me. Plus, I got the marker down on my underdog bet this year with Goff on getting over 4,000 yards. So I got that right on it too. All right, we got 2nd and 8. And that will be a first down again. Boy, they're just moving the chains on them, aren't they? That clock just winding down here in the second quarter. It's already 7 minutes to go. Well, we might have the second quarter done before the game's even an hour old. Oh, fumble! Boy, that went bad. Just as you got everything rolling good. Goff gets the fumble there. Ragnow. You have too much tape on your fingers, man. Oh, no. It was Laporta coming in motion. He hit the motion, man. George says, I don't do fantasy, too much hassle for my taste. I get that, George. Yeah, I've avoided it somewhat for the same reason in recent years, but kind of wanted to get back into it this year because we've got the Underdog Fantasy sponsor in the channel now. So I wanted to kind of try to get back into it a little bit, better acquainted with it again. 2nd and 20 here for Goff. He's going to drop back to pass, flip this out to Gibbs. Gibbs will take this upfield quickly for a gain of 7 or 8 yards. Third down. This drive has been a big win for the Lions, even if they only come away with 3 points. Ran the Cuts is right when I was about to say something nice about the Lions. Yeah, me too. I must have jinxed. We must have both kind of jinxed him. Four-man look. Oh, you went to a bubble, huh? Oh! Yikes. Fumble. Right after sud. Yeah. You're operating so well. Everything's running along so fine. You're run blocking well, pass protecting well enough. Goff making great decisions. And then Jared Reynolds gets the fumble. It was a great play. The guy put his hat in there and bonked it free. But oh yeah, the Chiefs a bit on the ropes there. Francis, our 18-team league made mine a 10-team league a breeze. I bet it did. Yeah, I bet it did. It was tough for me too in that 8-team league as we got through there. I thought I had a pretty firm, way I was going to go in the drafting, but it was like, geez, this is harder than I thought on this. A little bit. Just a little bit. I need Sky Moore to start producing here today. We need to kind of at least just give me 2 good catches here on this next drive. Let's get moving that energy. Get moving that direction. He's got me 0.4 points right now. He's killing me. Snail, are we allowed to do online sports betting in Washington now? No, we're not. I had to find creative ways and means to be able to place in my stuff. So, yeah, it's not awesome on that. When I did the fantasy thing or the sponsorship with them, I talked about it because they was like, when we did the sponsorship, they said, well, is there, there's some stuff on the site that'll be open to Washington people. And then we came to find out after they had done the sponsorship, everything, like it's not really opened up for people in Washington to be able to do it. So, but they were still kind enough to say, we still want to do the sponsorship. And they had, they understood it wasn't my deal. They reached out to me on it with it to say. So yeah, it's a little bit of a strange situation with that because, state over here it's legal, state over there it's not, then over here it is, then over there it's not. It's like you go 100 miles to this direction, yes. 100 miles that direction, no. It's very strange. Yeah, it does suck, Snail. It does. You can do it in Washington by going into the casinos, so you can still go in there to do it, but it makes it obviously a big pain. I like doing it, though. I was going to do it this year one way or the other, even if absent the sponsorship, because I do think that I never really liked doing the bet stuff, like 5 points, 3 points, right? Like I never was really a big fan of that, but I did like the counting on a player to have a certain level of production in a game or over the course of a season type of bets. This guy will have 4 catches over this game or something like that. 1st and 10 here for the Chiefs. Give is going to be inside. Edwards, Claire Hillel. 2nd down. You can't use VPN, unfortunately, William. They've got the VPN detectors. Isn't that crazy? But then it makes sense because it's a mandated federal thing. So they're not doing it because they want to do it. They're doing it because they have to do it. No VPN. Yeah, Snail, I'm not a casino guy either. It's always a dodgy place going in there, and Mahomes might run for 500 yards in this game. He's running his butt off. Yeah, I'm not a big casino guy either. And they're in places over on the west side where you got to drive far out in different directions to get to them. We just need Washington law to flip here. Stop making them. They need to turn off the nanny state. Let's be grown adults. It's always cool when they show the parents in the stands of the player. They're doing that for Hutchinson right now. I love that. You see how much they're into it, and the dad especially. Like, that would be me. I'd just be hyped up the whole game. Eyes glued to the field. Megan says, I can't use it down here, otherwise I'd support you on that 2B. No worries, Megan. I know how it goes. I mean, there's some countries that got the pretty harsh laws in place on this stuff. So it's not everywhere, that you can do it. That's for sure. Which sucks, because I know we'd have a lot of people trying it out otherwise. Maybe at some point the your country and my state will come to their senses on this one. Snail says, yeah, VPNs are why NFL players are getting suspended, laughing out loud. I bet. And if you were in IT, you would know too that everyone likes to think that's not an IT person, that thinks they've got like a very monochrome amount of IT knowledge, that the VPN is the end all be all in saving them from detection. And in actuality, it's not. It's a very thinly veiled sort of firewall of protection, but it is in what it does. But there's definitely a way to notice you're using one first off, and then to get down to your real IP data beyond that. It's not really that complicated if somebody's really trying to look at you and, backtrack who's doing it and what's doing it. Everyone in the cut says, I'm happy I got Bijan because y'all took all the other running backs back to back, one after the other. You're not wrong, man. It was a oh Lord, sorry. It was a weird thing in our draft where we suddenly had after into round 2, it took a harsh left turn down running back avenue, and everybody decided that they wanted some. So it was a little. Does anybody actually watch these Expendable movies? Is this just something where it's huge in Brazil and Mumbai and, is that what this is? Because I watched the first one and it was horrible. And now they're going to have made 4 of them? You got to be kidding me. Man, they can milk franchises now like nothing else. They're just yanking on those udders. Third and 5 here for the Chiefs. Little splits to the bottom side of the screen. Holmes going to throw this one up and almost get it picked off. Wow, that Lions player came up to lay a kill shot, and if he looked to just make a play on the ball, he would have had himself an interception, and he knows it over there. He was getting ready to kill that receiver. Yeah. Hutchinson again causing problems off the edge. Right tackle Taylor for the Chiefs is doing all he can to handle it. Chiefs aren't doing any kind of chipping either, though, really, on Hutch. They did it earlier there with a 3 chip, but it's a lot of kind of one-on-one with their tackle out there just trying to trust him. Mr. Dog, for the love of God, another shitty superhero movie. I know. Please no more. Please no more. Let's have this go cylindrical. Let's work our way back to original films now. We've all had a good fill of this other side of it. Let's go back to the original movies, quality filmmaking, not so CGI based. Probably too far down the line for that. I used to be pretty good making money betting spreads before I moved back to Washington. You can get into that too. You target the right kind of bets on that, you can kind of make it work a little bit. It's always harder for me on that one though. I always had a tougher time with that one. First, I like a little bit more of this guy's going to get targeted this much, or you can kind of, to me, feel that a little bit more in advance by a team's injury situation or the way their offense or defense runs or the defense or offense they're playing against. So we got the Lions back out here, 7-7, taking over. 3:47 to go here in the second quarter. Another run. They're just going to bleed this clock out. Lions standpoint, this is going to be a final drive where you score or you work the clock down to where the Chiefs offense can't come back out and do anything. George Samuel, Ryan Fitzpatrick's on every other commercial. Was that Fitzpatrick or was that the guy from the YouTube thing, George? There's a YouTube channel, I think that it's like a foodie channel thing. He looks like him though. He looks like Fitzpatrick with the big beard. I think he's a foodie guy. Goff dropping back to throw. And he's going to whistle this one over the top of the receiver. We're down at 5. Williams says Expendables is a movie I'd put on while flying just because it's just to pass the time and maybe to snooze off to. Yeah, it doesn't take itself seriously, and it's not trying to be more than what it is. I'll give it that, but it's not even like, to me at times, watching it fun, empty action fun. It's like them going through the motions of an action film, but they stack all these stars in there and sort of like confuse you with it. You know, you get all these good actors and stars in there and make you think that you're seeing something with more gravitas than it really does have. Goff's going to get sacked here. Pressure got into him. 4th down. Wow, we thought we were going to get an offensive explosion here. It's been a little bit of a defensive deal. Dana from the Chiefs. Wow, he just got right in there on that guard. Draymond Jones is looking at that right now and getting hungry for next week. And that'll be his matchup in there. That weak side pass rush on that guard. Worth noting next week. Randy Cuts says, yes, total airplane movie. Well, somebody's got to serve that role, right? Ooh. Megan the Bear D? What do you mean on the Bear D? You mean the Bear Fronts? Megan, I've never seen the Marvel movie show, and I'm not upset by that. You're probably not missing out on a whole bunch there. It's true. The original Marvel Phase 1 thing was pretty cool when they did the whole thing with that, but it's been downhill since then. Mr. Dog, Seahawks Lions game is going to be a good one. They're giving the Chiefs all they can handle here out in this opening week of the season. I know the Chiefs are short-handed, short-staffed, but this is in Arrowhead. And Mahomes has not had a lot of places to go here early on here. Very noticeable. Boy, that right tackle jumped off sides there. Rashee Rice with another catch. Catch and run all the way to the 45. Damn, dude. They got with Rashee Rice over Sky Moore. Sky Moore's not even being touched here. Come on, Sky. Oh, the Bear B is a show you were talking about. I think somebody was talking about in the chat, Megan. I haven't actually seen The Bear, but I think somebody in my chat was recommending it. Lions offense has definitely gotten really conservative here. Once they kind of, after that first drive, everything's kind of gotten real, slow it down, just try to bleed out the clock, shorten this game down a bit. I'm in favor of them doing that to a degree, but not at the expense of completely leaving your offensive identity a little bit to do so. There's a difference between controlling the clock and just playing keep away with the ball. Megan says, I've got a bookmark to watch, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'll check it out at some point. Something about that one actor's face, he's just got kind of a punchable face to me. I don't know why. There's certain actors that you just watch, like, this guy I don't know. There's something about his face I don't like. Bothers me. Got a fish face. Snails says the first Iron Man, Thor movies were fun. I almost love Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I almost love Guardians. Yeah, there's some good ones in there. It's been mainly the recent stuff they've done with it, where it's starting to go from let's just tell a really good original story to doing what a lot of stuff's done now in the modern era, which is that, you start to feel, I don't know, it almost feels like there's political leanings in the storytelling. And you go, why don't you just tell a good story? I don't need political stuff on my Marvel movies. What are we doing? And it's hard, no matter what your message is or whatever you want to get across as a storyteller and trying to get across the story. If you start out with, I want to teach people a lesson about life and what they should know about how to think about this given thing. That's where you're starting out and not from a place of, let me just tell a great story. Hard to do that. Very, very hard to do that. It's tough enough to tell a good story without being inhibited by having a message that you need to get across. But I've got the new stuff all the new stuff that's come out uniformly to me, it's just been trash. Trash. I don't know, sometimes I feel like Hollywood's just forgotten how to tell stories and make shows and movies. They're just so empty and vapid lately. There's some exceptions. Man, I guess should not have started Sky Moore. Holmes is not a fan of Sky here. Third down and 7. Good job here by this Lions defense. They've really done a great job of just making Mahomes. I know he just doesn't have a lot out there he's working with, but they're absent him maybe having some scrambling plays. They've kept everything else on lock. And again, pressure. Boy, hopefully we can hold up from a pressure standpoint better this next week. Chiefs offensive line's getting back there. Or the Lions are getting back there, I'm sorry. Ooh, line up Hutchinson inside. Interesting. Third and 17. Interesting call here. I think they anticipated the Chiefs were going to go for it on fourth down, and that's why they took the penalty. Third and 17. Mahomes is going to call the second time out of the half here. 1:07 to go in the second quarter. Just been a tough sledding here for the offenses. Ran to the cut. Have you tried Starfield yet, B? No, not quite. I'm struggling with getting to the point of signing up for it because I don't know if I'll really like playing it. I don't know that it, based on some of the reviews I've heard, that it's as open world, and it's just, that everyone wants to say, well, it's this game in space. And it's being said with kind of like, well, it's this, but in space, this Bethesda, that's what you get. It's this in space. And I just kind of go, yeah, I kind of want a little bit more in video games now than it's this game, but we're in the desert. It's this game, but we're up on a mountain. Third and 17. Mahomes in shotgun here. Throw it to Sky Moore. Wow, what a grab down there by Scanlon. Holy hell. That was a crazy throw, but a crazy catch. I don't even know how he came up with that. Boy, again, wide open out there. Lions are covering only Sky Moore in this game. Everybody else is wide open out there. What a drive here by Mahomes. He just shows you how quickly he can get the field. But holy crap, that Sky Moore play. He almost got drilled, and Hutchinson in his face. And Mahomes there on that throw. Wow. Great drive by Mahomes here. Showing why he's the best. 5 plays, 78 yards, a minute and 25 seconds. First and goal. Touchdown. Jeez, he just made that look easy, like two-handed touch. Jeez. Holy moly. So I have a little worry with it, Rand, like what William talks about, Starfield's boring. It's like I read about some of the stuff that's out there and it seems a little bit boring to me. It's like video game playing now is like this thing where it's not about the enjoyment of the game. It's suddenly about, no, are you into your grind? Are you into like redoing this mission 15,000 times where you go do this very same thing over and over again? Isn't that fun? No, it's not. It's lame. Like it's to me like video games being like, completely lazy in their approach with that. And it just feels like so many of the games I play, and I know Starfield's got its people out there that like it, but it's like the people that like the Bethesda games like Starfield a little bit. It's not really, to me, based on what I'm reading, bringing in people that are outside of the Bethesda sphere on that. And I don't want games that are just offshoots of other games. We've had Call of Duty franchises for 20 years and Madden franchises and 2K franchises and Halo franchises. And, we need a new game that can kind of push something in a different direction, not just recycle the old in a kind of a creative fashion. I'm open to maybe getting up on Starfield if there's something that does strike me at that they're doing new in the genre, but I don't know. I mean, maybe you can tell me, Rand, like what are they doing new in this genre of game? What are they doing that hasn't been already done to death in 50 other games? And in some cases, probably done better, and that's where I'm kind of like, I just, and again, for me too, I'm old with this, so I'm probably just, get off my lawn guy with this a little bit, but I just feel the last 6-7 years of video games have become very stagnant and there's a real lack of evolution going on. They certainly haven't taken advantage of the next generation systems at all. They came out like 3 years ago. What's been the great Xbox game out there to really show off the new graphic appeal and its processing power? I'll wait. We're gonna say Diablo or Battlefield. But I'll check it out. I'm open to it, Rand. It may sound like I'm completely a no on it all the way around, but I'm open to maybe getting it at some point here. I just don't want to end up getting it and feeling like I'm 20 minutes in and I'm just going to end up doing like, I feel like I'm doing chores through a game, And that's so many of the games anymore. When I get there and do that, it's like, that's how I feel. You kind of get in there and you're like, dude, this is just, there's not really fun involved here. I'm just grinding. Rand the Cuz as well is true. It's nothing new. It is something good. That's cool, man. I'll take something good. If it's good, I'm okay with it. I would like them to try to do something new because I think there's just been a staggering lack of imagination in the field lately. And nobody's got seemingly any kind of card up their sleeve or any kind of new thing to bring. And it's sort of weird to me. We used to have video games as I was growing up. You'd just continually see the progress going forward more and more. And it just hit this spot where there was like a dead end. In 2016, everything just kind of came to a halt. And there's been some good games that have come out, but they're mainly like single player games or something along that line. Maybe just play it on Game Pass. I'll try it out. Rand says, well, I'll tell you about Quest Line I did. You join up with a corporation and try the end. You're a senior operative with your own office with an experimental, controversial technology. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds interesting. I might be with it. I'm not anti it. I have done just kind of the first looking through reviews and, reading up on what people are just basically saying on it. So I'm open to it being a little bit more than that. And, if it is, then I'll jump on it because there isn't anything else to play. Sam George, I mean, there's been some great games, but the past few years, Uncharted 4, Sekiro, Elden Ring. Yeah, and that's where I say the single player games, and that's where I probably should make sure I'm clear. I want to play games with friends. Once I got out of my basically teenage years, I was kind of done with first player games. They were okay at the time, but I like the cooperative aspect so much more better than I like just playing by myself, waka doing, through stuff. And those games are good games, certainly, and that in single player games they're awesome. But, if we think about two-person games or, anything, just cooperative games in general, it's been pretty tough finding anything that's, kind of workable. Lions got 34 seconds here, down 14-7 to the Chiefs. Quick throwback. Snail says, prettiest game I've seen on the Series X is Cyberpunk 2077 after all the patches. Yes. Yeah, after all the patches, after about a year and a half, they finally got the game into the workable shape. Yeah, another beautiful game, and even that one's a multiplayer game, but another game that's just essentially takes Grand Theft Auto and moves it into a dystopian future. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just cynical with it, but it's like video games used to aspire to do more than just that. You know, it wasn't like the lowest amount of energy they could apply into a situation as far as a change goes would get everybody blown away. It took usually more than that in the past to have people impressed. Second and 5, tackle there. Bring up third down. George says multiplayer game's not good right now. No. Yeah. And that's what I like to do. I have my like Fridays I get on with my brother and we get on some friends and we always play multiplayer games, and that's what I want to do. I can do some single player, you know, here and there, but I get way more enjoyment out of working and cooperating and competing and all that other stuff. It gets the competition thing out in multiplayer games in my system too, because my back's telling me now I can't go out and compete on the court anymore, so gotta do it in the video game sphere. Now I'm 50-ish hours into Starfield. The best I can describe it is the bastard child of Mass Effect, Fallout 4, and Borderlands. Yeah, that doesn't sell me on it. That just doesn't sell me on it at all. I mean, Borderlands, another franchise where great idea, initial game really good, second game really good, and then let's just copy and paste the next 3-4 games after that in the very same manner with no change. You know, and even in you go through Borderlands, you're doing the same thing over and over again. By the last Borderlands game, I could take a rocket launcher, close my eyes, and just spam fire the button, and I would take out, without looking at where it was firing, just shooting in front of me, just the splash fire would eventually get them, and they couldn't take me down because it, you know. And I know it's what people go, well, no, it's the dialogue of Borderlands, it's the voice acting, it's the. I keep going, yeah, it's all comes down to these kind of things that are like these things that are not about how the game plays, you know? It's like, but how's the game play? Well, it's like this thing that's like that thing that's like this thing. No great games do you go, that there have been great games that came along. Like when Halo originally came out, you didn't go, well, it's like GoldenEye meets this, meets that. It was its own new thing that had come out. Its own, nothing's come along like this. COD. First-person shooter, playing fast as hell. Nothing had come out like that when it came out. It wasn't spoofing on anything. It was wholly kind of new a bit, and that's that spirit that's lost just a little bit here, in my opinion. I know maybe some will agree. Megan says Borderlands annoyed the hell out of me. Yeah, it's to me it's leaning on the voice acting, and if we can have this fun dialogue, this crazy and out of control, then people won't notice how mid the game level play is. Boy. Lions offense through the end of this half has definitely kind of fallen a bit into shambles here after that fumble. I mean, the momentum thing really caused them to lose a bit of their sails here. George says, try It Takes Two. Try It Takes Two. Game of the year 2021. A lot of fun. It Takes Two. We'll check it out. Mr. Dog, Overwatch is pretty fun. Overwatch can be pretty cool. Yeah, I played that in the past. It can be all right. You need kind of a squad to make it work. But again, the game that's been out for years and years and hasn't, outside of adding heroes, hasn't done a whole lot as far as really updating in the game in a way that's, super dynamic. Kind of like the video games out there as they stand right now. I've learned that they get their market. They know what the market knows what they are. The people who play their games know what they are, and then they can just keep replaying the games out. They can kind of, just like Madden does, copy and paste rosters over every year, and people will buy the game because, they've got that built-in audience, and it's sad. But because they have people buying the game, or because they're people who get the, doesn't mean it's a good game at that point. It doesn't mean they're that they're doing all they could be to really pushing through on it. And I did love Overwatch at first, but I loved Overwatch 7 years ago when it came out. Now go back and play it and I go, this really hasn't changed from maybe not 7 years, but something like that. It's been out for a good amount of time. We might know it's the first half, but I was expecting more from this game. Yeah, I got a little bit slow here at the absent that Mahomes drive at the end where he cooked out the touchdown. It's been a bit of a kind of got sloggy there through the last half of the second quarter. Snails is laughing out loud. I disagree, Brandon. GoldenEye was a Counter-Strike Quake evolution. COD was the evolution of Unreal Tournament and Counter-Strike. Well, there's a difference between being an evolution and then being like those games, and there's no part of playing COD and then you go play Quake and you go, well, these two games are exactly alike, other than they're fast first-person shooters. But there's a completely whole different thing of what was going on with COD from Quake in that. But we agree to disagree. Counter-Strike the same way. Counter-Strike's not really the fast-person shooter. That's the slow, like, check my corner. Check it. Okay, is it helping? It's a wholly different thing. And look, those games were good games, great games too. Those games were classics in their own right, and still have people playing them in lobbies to this day. But they were their own separate different games at the time. Now these games we talk about them like you mentioned before. It's this game and that game and this game. And when I know for a fact when COD was coming out, and nobody at the time was going, well, no, it's like Counter-Strike, but it's also like Quake Evolution and Counter-Strike. No one at the time was referring to it in that way. You might be right in the fact that it's an evolution from it, but that was not the way that people saw it as it was coming out. It felt like a wholly new, its own kind of thing, its own kind of play, Whereas we say now with these games now, it's Cyberpunk comes out and you go, well, it's like, it's like a Rockstar game, but in the future, dystopian, da-da-da-da. Like, well, I need a little more than that. Megan love Quake. I love Quake too. Quake was a good game. Mr. Dog, Cyberpunk could have been such a good game. It could be. I think that they're on the pathway to trying to make that kind of game that's got a little bit more to it in the future than just having this surface level nature to it. There's a lot on the surface level, but it all is kind of at a surface level when you really dig into it. And they'll get there maybe eventually. I mean, maybe AI helps them get this progressed a little bit better, to where there is a little bit more of a feeling of depth to games and not so much of just wash, rinse, repeat. George says, I was so hyped for Cyberpunk, then it came out as it did. I couldn't play that mess. It's unforgivable. I saw it when I was working in IT back around the time of 2007, and there was a lot of industries in IT that either wholly did away with their QA departments or reduced their QA departments so thoroughly down that they weren't able to have the kind of impact they had before of catching bugs and making sure that the final product was clean. This has also affected other points of software in the industry as well, but it does definitely directly impact the video games, which have now basically moved a lot of their beta testing to live releases, and their audience basically, filing the tickets for them when they complain, and then they'll fix it. And that's a tough way to go about it. Eventually you get it all cleaned up. Cyberpunk did. Battlefield's gone through this, where now I guess if you go play Battlefield, the recent one where it actually supposedly plays pretty good at this point, but it'll take them a year to get there. Another new thing in the market. That didn't used to be a thing back in the day. You didn't have to go get a game and be like, well, once we just wait a year down the line, it'll be finally ready to play. And that's why it's not just one thing with this. There's a couple things going on in the industry to me that have caused it to get a little bit gacked up. I don't think it's permanent. It's just, it's in a place that's like when the movie industry gets in a place of being unimaginative and it doesn't have any, there's these moments that happen at times where you just cylindrical things go through cycles. Kind of how it feels here with this one. Mr. Dog, The Last of Us multiplayer is going to be sick. Oh, I might try it out. I'll definitely be paying attention to it, that's for sure. Ran the cuts, it's to the point where before Starfield came out, I was replaying Red Dead 2. Yeah. It's tough. It's really a tough time. And everyone's having to do that in their own way, Rand. I mean, I have friends all across the board that are in a variety of states as far as how they view video games. Some are casual, some are hardcore, some are, I like just the online PCs. I like just the Xbox. I like this. I mean, it's all walks, and all of them are struggling to find to find, stuff that they're getting into and that they really do like. And, I've tried it in a couple games recently, like I got that raised the Diablo game, for instance, multiplayer game. It's like, I got a lot of fun out of it. I got my money's worth, but you also get very quickly to the end of it and go, okay, I've kind of done everything. Not a lot here. It's all kind of, again, that go up against the boss and you go against a bullet sponge or a hit sponge or a bigger hit sponge. Kind of, Ran the Cut Battlefield's a fun playable state now, but it's too late. I'm not interested anymore. That's so true, Ran the Cut. It's like, this would have been good a half hour ago. Like when you guys actually released it, I will go back and probably play that one at some point because people have said it's pretty cool. And I'm interested in seeing how that one might be. Battlefield games have been kind of dropping a bit too in recent years. So we got an interesting little game here. Man, I'm gonna have to move. And I'm gonna have to put in Kenneth Gainwell at my running back. Kenneth Walker's questionable. This week is not looking good for your boy opening week, Megan. Snails says Diablo microtransactions and always online turned me off. I get that. I didn't like that part of it either. I was willing to overlook it because I'm in a state of desperation when it comes to this. Where I really want a new game. It's like I'll even overlook some things that are bothersome to me. And in that case, those things were bothersome, but I was at least like, well, I haven't played the really recent Diablo games. So maybe I can get back into it. It'll feel fresh and new a little bit. But it quickly just kind of got stale. You're like, okay, I run into a dungeon, button mash, leave dungeon, sell swords I don't need, armor I don't need, go back in a dungeon, slay the same foes, get armor, get swords, sell armor, get swords, upgrade, watch, rinse, repeat. Dippy says, oh my God, I finally figured out how to watch member-only streams laughing out loud. How's it going tonight? It's going great, man. We're chilling. Kind of a laid-back stream. I'm hanging in here. I'm definitely not at 100% with my back tonight, but I'm a gamer. I taped it up. You know what I mean? Hope you're doing well though tonight, Stimpy. Glad you're able to find the stream on the deal. It's hard. I normally do it as just posting a video and do it as just a member stream, but the way YouTube works is it shows the non-members the videos on there, I guess, to try to get them to be enticed to them becoming a member. But I don't think I think it comes off wrong to people, like they're being held behind a wall or something, and I don't like that part of it. So I had to get a little creative in how I do them. Mr. Dog, what's my current game, Brandon? Well, we just left Diablo. And so like last couple weeks for my Friday night gaming, we were doing that for a while, and finally we got bored as hell with it. So I've been back on COD a little bit recently. The fun part about COD is I can go into COD multiplayer and put like 30 kills up, no problem. So it's fun being able to go into a game. You can just go dominate whenever you want. But I'm not sure. We're trying to decide on what we're going to do next. And I don't have any good answers. We're kind of at a stuck point right now. But we're thinking about doing Battlefield. We're going to go back to maybe and check that out. Try it back out again maybe. But it sucks. There are no good options. There really isn't. Yeah, Megan's going to win her fantasy this week off Amon Brown alone. It's not like the lines aren't going to be thrown in the second half, Megan. It's not like they're not going to be, cooking it up all the way through into this next half. A weird first half. I thought this was going to be a way more high scoring game. Stupid. Stupid. Goff, 14 and 22, 135 yards. Mahomes, 12 of 17, 147. Not even one target this guy more. Oh. Oh. One sack in the first half. They need to stop giving the ball to David Montgomery and start giving the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs. That's what needs to happen here. William Leonard, I heard Baldur's Gate 3 is pretty dope. That one's getting a lot of love. It's getting a lot of love. I've thought about that one. I'm giving that one a consideration. It seems more, you can tactically play with people, but it just does, seems like when looking at that one, that might be a little more solo-ish. But I hear that's great. I might get that one. Something about Baldur's can't quite get me roped in, though. I'm not really into that role play game kind of stuff either, you know? Let's just keep the action moving. I don't need to dial a lot of talkie. Now, I'll probably try Baldur's Gate when it drops on Xbox. Yeah, I probably would too. I can do PC, but I do prefer Xbox with the controller. Of course, with a game like that, it might be better to play on PC with the keyboard and all the item stuff you got to track through. It's kind of hard to always do that on the controller. Baldur's Gate's a great recommendation. I have heard it's dope too, William. That one might be worth checking out. Dan Campbell with 7 successful fake punts since he's become head coach of the Lions. So let's definitely be on our P's and Q's next week with the fakes. Calling that in advance. Mr. Dog, there used to be a Mortal Kombat OP game that was filthy. They need to bring it back. I think I saw Mortal. Wasn't there Mortal Kombat coming back soon? I don't know if it's that one, but there's one coming out, I think, somewhat soon. If I'm not mistaken. Lions are going to kick off here to the Chiefs. Really surprised that the Chiefs have been able to hold the Lions down to 7 points. I thought this offense was going to look a little bit better for Detroit. But it's really been just Amon Brown has kind of been the only part. And Goff with what he's doing. I mean, Dan Campbell's so intense. Run to the outside, and this is going nowhere. Man, Komsky playing a good game there for the Lions. He's going to be a guy to monitor next week from the interior. Second and 8. There's a hold. Creed Humphrey got away with a blatant hold there. Blatant. Man, Hutchinson continues to be very impressive. His hustle and motor is second to none. Snail says, Brandon, it sounds like we like different types of games. I like story-driven single-player stuff. Yeah, I'm just in the different level. And I'll say, look, if you're a single-player story-driven guy, like gaming industry's been as good as ever. You know, you've got about a game coming out every year and a half at least that's going to be a AAA game and legit. My AAA multiplayer games suck ass. You know, my AAA mortgage games are like, man, Hutchinson again all over Mahomes, and he forces Holmes to throw this into the dirt. Right now, the Chiefs cannot block right now, Hutchinson. He's looking just like a Bosa would. I mean, they've got no way to stop him. They try to block him with the tight end there, and that's not working. Mahomes, 2nd and 10, back in shotgun. Ball be knocked away. 4th down. Yeah, man, I guess all the hype of Sky Moore coming out of camp was BS. They haven't thrown to him one time this game. He's even on the field for half the time. Gonna lose my fantasy, lose my $10 bet. There's Hutchinson again on Mahomes. He's back there every snap right now. He is back, and Mahomes is right there in his face every single time. I might start doubling him if I'm the Lions. And they're using him on the inside, which is notable. We're going to definitely see a little bit of that next week. Holy mackerel. 4th down. Stimpy says, do you think our line can hold Hutch up well? I think he's going to be, I mean, he wasn't able to do anything last year. Both Lucas and Cross gave it to him. I mean, Lucas especially because he's a strong side rusher most of the time when he's coming from there. And we did really good against him last year. But it was also a long year. It was early in the year for him. And, maybe he wasn't at his 100% best that game, He's been an impressive player. Might have even been your defensive rookie of the year if Sauce didn't win it, as he had like 9 sacks and 3 interceptions. But he's definitely looking like he's ticked his game up a notch here in this game. I mean, he's going to be really highly rated by PFF. I'm guessing you're going to get like 85, 90 grades out of this game from him. And we're going to have to do something to deal with him at this point. Williams says Dan Campbell's totally a guy I'd see on a construction site. Oh, 100%. He's even got, as you saw him talking there, I've seen him do the dip, and he's even got it to the point of like, I don't give an F, to where I've done so much dip that you can see the yellow of the stain on the teeth, and it's like deeply embedded into his teeth because he's doing so much dip, like just completely doesn't care, right? Just, here we go. Mr. Dog, when is Witherspoon expected to be back? I think we don't have an expectation level exactly when he's coming back. He'll be practicing next week again. I would think that they're going to probably softly check and see if next week would work. But if you're laying bets, they're going to probably be pretty conservative, maybe even week 3 at this point. Oh, Lordy. Hold on one sec, folks. I need to stand up here. Whew. All right. Quick throw and a drop here from the Lions on first down. Yeah, Mr. Dog, I don't know. They didn't have him back. I don't think he's just starting to get practice in full speed this last week. So I certainly watching Amon Brown in this game. You'd love to have him back for that particular game here, but I would reckon to guess that they're going to be pretty cautious with him because this hamstring thing has popped up a couple of times. 2nd down and 10. Nowhere to go there on that particular play. Got a flag. And we'll probably go to about 7:15 today, so I can't go through all the way to the end of the game tonight because we've got the 8 o'clock B&B show. So I've got to finish up a little bit of last-minute prep for that show tonight because we're going to be previewing the Rams game. But we'll go up into 7:15, 7:25, somewhere in there. We'll roll 2 here tonight. Mr. Dog, I wonder how much money we have to assign someone right now since we restructured contracts. We've got right now $9 million in current cap space, Mr. Dog. But, you have some other ways to create some space if you needed to in addition to that, including there's some other restructures that could be done. And third down and 10. Chiefs showing a blitz. Boy. Chiefs got him with that blitz look. It really had Goff set up. What I'd love to do with Goff, too, is just you get him unnerved a little bit and feeling the pressure. And he plays as a much different quarterback. He wants to hit that back foot, let it rip, make this easy peasy. And if he's got to kind of think about things back there or he's a little unsure about what he's seeing, he's just a vastly different quarterback. And the Chiefs showed it on a play like that. Interesting, too, for the Lions there with the no built-in protections there to really deal with the stacked fronts the Chiefs are running up there right now. Like they've not found an adjustment here into the second half from what the Chiefs were doing in the first half with them on that. Snail says, what would the Husky kid cost to bring in at nose tackle? Danny Shelton? He'd be a vet minimum guy at this point, Snail. $2 million, 1.8 or something like that on a 1-year deal. But if you're going to bring in a vet at this point, you're going to wait until after week 1, because if a veteran is on the roster after week 1 and he played week 1, then all of his salary is guaranteed through the rest of the upcoming season. So you'll wait till week 2 to sign like a vet of that type. Team might be waiting to do just that type of thing though, Snail. I don't know if Danny Shelton gives you a whole lot at this point though. I'd be very surprised if they just went for some lower grade move, expecting it to have kind of any real helpful impact on the team. William says, call me old-fashioned, but I don't like the new players' numbers freedom. It makes it harder to ID these guys. It shouldn't be like college because it's the pros. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I was somewhat okay initially with the numbers changing and how they've changed, but it does get hard at times figuring out who is who. And guys look like cornerbacks that are receivers, and cornerbacks have receiver numbers, and it's weird. It's all a little bit weird. Definitely still getting used to it myself too. That's for sure. That's fine. We wouldn't need anyone for the Rams, would we? No. We can wait a week on it. It's kind of a weird rule too by the MPAA assisting on that these players have that, where it causes so many guys to get cut who wouldn't normally maybe get cut, and it doesn't help get those guys more money in their pocket, in my opinion, by setting that up like that. Because then once you sign them after week 2, you're not their contract's not guaranteed, and so if they go down in week 4, you can just cut them at that point. So it's like if there's a way to subvert a rule like that anyway, then just take the rule out because teams are going to subvert it. No worries, Megan. I'm caught up on the chat. Hope you're all having a great night. Thank you for everybody checking out tonight. And we got about only 9 folks in here, but thank you for all the folks who are members of the channel and do show your support as you do. I really do appreciate that. Jeez. Hey, the Rook Campbell out there making a play in coverage. Nice job. He routed one way, came back the other way, did Jack Campbell there. 18th overall pick for the Lions this past draft. Both offenses tonight have been absent that one Chiefs drive where they really put the pedal down and went for it. It's been very, very conservative on both sides. Maybe just the first game and trying to work out kind of some kinks and stuff, but there's definitely kind of this feeling a little bit of just, nobody trying to push things too hard here a little bit. I don't think we've seen one deep throw all game. And this ball is going to be picked. It's going to be a pick 6 back the other way. A tip pass that will be returned for a touchdown. Wow, just what the Lions needed there. Offense had no real signs of life in the last 3 or 4 drives. And, hey, how about that? The rookie out of Alabama, Branch. Active hands there, rallying up on the ball. Kadarius Toney tipped it back. See why I don't like Kadarius Toney? Guy's always injured. He's not really a receiver. You get the ball in his hands, he can be dynamic, but he'll do that type of stuff, He's kind of a bonehead on things. But again, on just kind of a dinky little throw there by Mahomes. Wasn't even like really trying to do a lot there with. I know you're just going to get the ball in the hands, but like there was Branch over the top. That play wasn't going for a whole lot. A very conservative approach tonight from both offenses. And Ray and I was expecting a shootout too, man. I thought we'd be up around 28, 31 points by the end of this game minimum. But it's like the Chiefs kind of remembered on that final drive at half, like, oh yeah, we can just get up on this team anytime we want it on as far as get up there and score. It's like, let's be aggressive. Let's push the ball down the field. Mahomes made a few of those throws where he was really getting the ball up the field there. And then it's back to the dink dunk city, which I know that's what they were doing a lot of last year, but it's not bringing them a tremendous amount of success in this game up against this Lions defense. Strange game. It's kind of a strange just feel, doesn't it? It's kind of a strange feel to it. I was Andy here, I'd do a play action and I'd go over the top to Marquise Valdes-Scantling. See if I get a cover 3, cover 1 look over the top. And let Mahomes give it a rip on this one. Remember who you are, Patrick. Remember who you are. Chiefs are not going to get it done this year in their ground game any more so than they've done it in previous years. Mahomes is leading the way with them with 4 carries and 27 yards. The rest of the backs have 9 carries for 29 yards. Brian Branch, exciting slot corner out of Alabama. Guy who can play a little safety as well. Fun player on tape. Really good tackler. Hell of a way to start out your career with a pick 6. You got to catch that pass if you're Gutierrez, Tony. That's such a bad drop. Holmes going to roll out here. Little throwback pass to the other flat. Goes for about 6. Good job by the Lions of being disciplined there. Second down. I'm definitely going 0-1 in my fantasy league at this point. Sky Moore must have pissed Mahomes off. If you're going to try to run this, looks like they're going to be a little bit short of the first down. Oh, they're giving it to him. Saying no, measure. Measure. Ran the guts as someone hopefully took the under. I bet the Vegas betting wasn't on the under. I'll tell you that. I'll say this too, but both these two teams, they can score some points in bunches. This could go quickly in the other direction if either of these offenses start getting hot. First down and 10 for the Chiefs. Holmes looking. Holy hell. Oh, that was kind of a no man's land. George, what's better for us? Lions win or lose? I've kind of thought if they win, that might be best for us. Like they kind of get amped up for this game. We're going to show everybody we're real. And they come back the next week and you're able to kind of catch them with their guard down maybe a little bit. But I don't feel strongly about that, George. That's in general terms. Second down and 10 here for the Chiefs. Quick little throw out to, why can't you do that to Moore? You got to do that with this James guy. Come on. William Leonard. Here's a guy, Chris Collinsworth. Classic analysis. Here's a guy. He's a football player. I love when they say that to William. He's a football player. I would hope he's a professional. Boy. Oh! Through the hands. Too much pressure. Too much Hutchinson. Fourth down. Well, George, I'm seeing very well sought by you. I see the same thing here where some very strange throws there by Mahomes. That one, he just needed to just lightly just kind of fluff that one in there, and he just sort of sailed it a little bit over the top. It's hard when you got that strong of an arm, you know. You try to dial it back a little bit, and it still can come out like a like a missile. I guess Snail's probably right. The best thing is probably they lose. Snail gave the right answer on this, George. Mine was incorrect. Playoff seeding is the most important. The more NFC teams that lose, the better from our standpoint of things. It's very true. God, this guy just made that one catch. That one grab. Oh wow, Megan. He's got two players playing right now. So he has got Goff and Montgomery, and you're beating him with just one guy. So Megan, you win tonight. You win tonight. I mean, you beat him with these two. If you come out of this with Amon Brown having more points than the collective of Goff and Montgomery, you're winning this week. Of course, I'm guessing at least Goff's going to get some more. I don't know if Montgomery's getting a whole hell of a lot more carries than he's got at this point. But you're looking in a good position right now as it stands. Kelly in the house. How you doing, Kelly? Hey, B, your guy Brian Branch. I love me some Brian Branch coming out of school. I mean, I know I just said you don't use this term, but he is a football player. I mean, that guy will do everything you want a guy to do: cover, tackle, play tenaciously. He'll hit. He can jump a route. I mean, he didn't have to jump the route there. He's just playing over the top and in proper position for where he needs to be. But when you're in the proper position, good things can happen. And that's what happened there with Brian. He's a good player. And the Lions, I think they had a pretty solid draft overall. They definitely probably reached on a couple guys here and there, but they didn't reach on bad players. They just went a little bit over the top than they should have, probably. It's good to see you, Kelly. Hope you're having a good night. Ran in the cuts as if Goff starts throwing to someone else, that could creep up on you. That could. Megan, I think you're in good shape with your fantasy because the person you're playing against has both Goff and Montgomery going, and you've got Amon Brown beating both of them. If you do that, if you were able to do that, come out of this game and that holds true, then you probably have this week 1 in fantasy. Snail says, that being said, I kind of like the Lions and hope they win. Feel you there. Goff drop backs to throw. He's going to take this rip down city down. And there's Amon Brown again, Megan. Another catch. 1st and 10. He's eating. Oh, really? I was the second last pick and had no clue. As long as I bet you, I'm all good. Yeah, you might be in a good shape this opening week. Oh, man. That's 5 catches, 66 yards for him. Play action pass by Goff. He'll find his tight end leaping over the first down marker are we going to have a hold here on the lines? Yep. Holding. No, it's on the Chiefs. It'll be declined. That's down. Well, if you can't cover Amon St. Brown, I guess you can always try to hold him. Lions got a best drive of this half working now. 7:05 to go. Here's the Gibbs, Jahmyr Gibbs. That's right. Keep working Gibbs now. I like that. And you can gun for me right now. You can beat on this lesser foe this week, but when you step up to the big boy table, then, just be ready. Just be ready. Boy, they got Barry Sanders up against Jahmyr Gibbs. You can really get a feel for how wide Barry was as a player. He's a shorter guy, but he was wide as hell. Thick little dude. 2nd down and 8. Chiefs showing a bit of a blitz look here again. Mahomes seems to catch it. He's going to get Amon-Ra out there. Another catch for Amon-Ra. Number 6 on the day. Number 7 on the day now. Kelly says, love Gibbs. Boy, Lions have some nice rookies. Branch, Gibbs, Campbell. Yeah. Indeed, Kelly. They got some fun young guys out there. 4th and 3. This drive will come to a stop on a bubble screen gone wrong. But Amon shows you in this game what you could get from a Jackson Smith-Njigba. You're seeing the Lions doing this without a DK and a Tyler on the outside. Imagine if you have a guy like Amon doing what he's doing on the inside, and you have Tyler and DK on the outside in addition to it. Let it roll. Let it roll. Nice. Megan says, you can talk now, B, but game on, brother. Game on. Bring it. Bring it, Megan. Kelly says, I met Marcus Trufant today at the Seattle giveaway to celebrate the kickoff. Got a cool hat. When you meet these players, Kelly, you got to be the Hawks Nest representative for me. You got to be my lady on the scene. And he should be like, hey, you got to get on the Hawks Nest that he's reached out to you. He's tried to interview you. Get on his channel. What are you doing? Hawks Nation wants this, Need some soft pressure from you. Just some slight pressure, You don't have to go break any thumbs or take out any kneecaps, but just a nice soft, give him that steady, steely-eyed look, Kelly, Why don't you go into the Hawks Nest? He's reached out. Why don't you do the interview? Meg says your back will be the least amount of pain you'll be in, and we'll see about that. It's a lot of pain. It's a hurt me bad. I know like. William, will you effing stop kissing all the babies? You're not running for public office. Peyton. Yeah, Sean Payton's, he's wild for saying that. But he's not wrong. It's not something that we haven't also said out here at some point in time as well of Russ. Megan said, I've only thrown my back out once after coughing so hard and broke my ribs. Oh, I've got a lot more sympathy for folks who have this kind of stuff because I've had the upper back pain before, but this is the first time I've had the lower back kick in like this, and it is no joke, especially trying to lay in bed. I'm so sad in bed because it's that thing where if you move an inch, you just like, And there has been a couple moments I've gone down to bend down and I wasn't exactly sure if I could get back up. And that's definitely when you start to realize, oh, I'm in my 40s. This was not a problematic situation that happened to me at 32. I've become the commercial. I need to get the thing installed. I've fallen and I can't get up. Kelly says, I got an extra free hat and magnet scheduled to mail to my dad. Nice. You got the hat, you got the Hawks Nest mug for the birthday, and he loves it. Thanks again. Thanks for getting the mug off the store, Kelly. I appreciate you grabbing that. I'm glad it's coming out well, and hopefully it works out good for him. Let me know if there's any issues with it. If it happens to have any issues holding up, I'm obviously with this new store, want to pay attention to some of the durability on this stuff, and I tried to choose the products that aren't just the cheapest crap ones so that when you do buy them, they're going to be ones that hold up and, they're not going to just fall apart on you. Shirts, hats, all that stuff. Because they have like the cheap option that's like shirts made of toilet paper and mugs made of potato. Mahomes back to throw here. He's going to scramble around and go for the first and take a hard hit to his back there. You don't like to see your quarterback taking those kind of shots, but he's trying to get the first down. But thank you, Kelly, for getting those mugs and stuff. Appreciate you doing that. Lions are at least starting to give Hutchinson a little bit of help, which is good to see. I think that was Benito Jones out there. Letting it rip on Patrick. Come on. Hit him deep. Over the top to Pachenko. 9-yard gain. And did you see Ken was limited today, says Kelly? I did see he was limited. It's got me worried, Kelly. My fantasy league this week is not looking good. I had him starting, and I had Sky Moore starting, and looks like I'm taking the L in the opening week. I'll just say that. But yeah, I'm not encouraged by that, and it's the same groin, which is worrisome. At least he was going, even if he was limited. 2nd and 1. It was to Pachenko for a gain of 3. Y2K says, start Sky Moore, he says. He'll be amazing, he says. Hey, I'm eating it too on this one. I'm eating it too. I put my money where my mouth was. I sat Brandon Ayuk for Sky Moore today. I had so much faith in this being right. And he's been targeted one time in this game by Patrick. Little did I know that he hit on Patrick's wife 3 days ago in practice. And now he's in the Mahomes doghouse. And he might not get one target. Oh, he's letting it rip. And that's going to be pass interference. Can't come up there and lay that kind of hit before the ball comes there. Why are you putting your hands up? You made contact before. This thing that I get the corners, they get all freaked up. Like when you make contact before the ball gets there, how is it not going to be a flag at that point? You don't get to make contact before the ball lands. Let's watch the replay. And Sutton, the corner, is freaking out about it, but it's like, he got beat. He knew it was beat. And he comes in there and makes contact. That's a flag. That's a flag. First and 10 here. Play action pass. Mahomes looking down the field. Checks it back down to his tight end. Teddy Bridgewater signing. Snail says, yeah, you can't make contact unless you're on the Jets. That's true. If he was Sauce Gardner, he could have gotten away with that. Anyone else, it's a big fat no. And Y2K, the Mariners need that win today for sure. Big win. I mean, they've got to get this back going here. Everything's still fine. Everything's in their grasp for this season, but let's lock this in. They're getting Kelnick's bat back in the lineup, which can't hurt. He's out there slaying it. Golly, throw to Sky Moore, and he throws it behind him. Come on, Patrick, throw it to Sky. Like, throw it to him. And Sky Moore, like, catch the ball. Please. Damn. Sauce would get away with that, George. You know it. You know it's the truth. You know in your heart, you know it to be the truth. Wouldn't even be easy. It'd be an easy one for the officials. Oh, it's Sauce. He gets away with that. Wow. Darius Toney with another drop. Pew, pew, pew. Chiefs are going to go for a field goal here. I don't know what, like, the guy's dropped 2 passes that are 5-yard throws in front of him where there's no guy, like, hanging on him or anything. Those are 2 of the worst drops you'll see from a receiver right there in this game, this half from Toney. Hey, Chiefs, we got Eskridge. I'm just saying. We can fix your situation. Call us. Y2K says, I benched Toney for Sky last minute. Well, I'll tell you this, Y2K, neither of them are doing real well here for the Chiefs offense, right? Both of them are kind of sucking it up a bit. Strange Chiefs offense today. It's been a little bit, definitely missing Kelsey and trying to get by, but it's a little strange today. Strange. We're going to probably wrap this on up here in just a couple minutes, folks. So I got the B&B show here at 8 o'clock. So if you guys got any last questions or anything you want to talk about, let me know here in the chat. But other than that, we'll probably put a button on this one as I'll be back going live here with Brendan right at the end of this game. And yeah, so we're going to preview a little bit of the Rams action here for Sunday. And yeah, probably not a super long show tonight, I would imagine, because there's not a lot to break down in this Rams matchup. There's a little bit to break down, but not a lot to break down, as the Seahawks should pretty firmly have this one pretty firmly in hand. But nonetheless, we'll be kind of breaking it down, going through both sides of the ball, taking a look at them. Appreciate all of you guys for all of your support on this channel as members and patrons of the channel as you are. Very much appreciated. Y2K says, yeah, I was like, I know what you're going to do, K. Tony. My League of 16 team's been in it for many years. Harder to get a full roster. Gotta go find those diamonds in the rough, huh? Kelly says, didn't we have Brian Branch in for a top 30 visit? I believe we did. I think he could have been a guy that they looked at, but I think they just ended up getting overwhelmed with some of the other value that was on their board. And that just kind of blew him away, and they couldn't look past it. But he was a fun player and certainly a kind of guy you'd think would appeal to Coach Carroll. Mr. Dog says, if we sign anyone, who's it going to be? Akeem Hicks, if we're going to sign somebody. Akeem Hicks, because he's got familiarity with this scheme, and he can play the nose tackle position, which I don't think Ndamukong Suh could do. And also understand there's not a lot of guys out there right now that are in the order of being on our target right now, Mr. Dog. You know, like there's not a lot of available bodies out there on the open market, the nose tackle position. So I would either go Akeem Hicks, Danny Shelton, maybe the kid that the Cardinals released last week in their cut downs, but I don't think any of those guys are really going to be what they're going to do. They'll probably end up making a trade for somebody more substantial, in my opinion. If I was a betting man. George says, thanks for doing the shows while being hurt. Get well soon, my man. No problem, man. It's a little slight pain, but it's all good. I'm a gamer, as they say, George, and I do want to keep making sure I get these member-only streams going this year we're going to keep it consistently going, shooting for a minimum Thursday, and if not expanding beyond that. So, this is the first for what's going to be something we'll do throughout the course of this season. And sometimes it'll be a half hour, sometimes it'll be an hour, sometimes it'll be a couple hours like we did today. But we'll definitely keep going with these consistently. I promise you on that. Goff dropping back to throw here, and he's going to throw this away. Roxanne Roll, thank you for 26 months as a member of the channel. I do appreciate it. Says, hey, my Hawk's Nest mugs arrived. The 15 and 13 ounce logos look great. High quality ceramic. First cup of coffee was the best I've had. It's the mug. Go Hawks. Well, thank you, Roxanne. That puts a big smile on my face. I'm glad to hear the quality looks great from this stuff. I got to get myself one ordered here. I got to update my own little coffee cup here. So we'll definitely get that going on my end here too. But I'm glad to hear it's good. Thanks for grabbing the mug, buying in the store, showing the support the channel. And I love it too, because now anybody sees your mugs like, what's that? What's that? Oh, this is the Hawk's Nest. Hawk's Nest? What's the Hawk's Nest? So it's great. I love it. Thank you so much. Megan says, I'm heading out to start Gloatin' Bee. I mean, not gloatin', so not gloatin'. Not sure I'll be over on the B&B show. No worries, Megan. I understand. It's all good. It is all good. Roxanne, thank you for that long time, 26 months of support on this channel as a member. One of my probably original members on this channel. And that's right when I probably about started up the whole program. So thank you for that long time support, along with all the donations you've dropped in the channel as well over the couple of years on this channel. I really do appreciate that, and glad that mug's working out good for you. I do indeed. Well, we will be back over on the other side of this shortly enough on the B&B show here at 8 o'clock. So I will see you guys over on the flip side. If not then I will see you on game day, Sunday, 1 o'clock, Rams, Seahawks, first game of the year. If you can't get there this at 8 o'clock here later on tonight, we will see you on Sunday. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for all of your support, be it through membership or through patronage. But please do not ever forget, don't you ever forget,